Now, more on this story now, and the Daily Telegraph and the Sydney Morning Herald are reporting Queensland Police will use an alleged text exchange as part of evidence in relation to the alleged betting charge against Brendan Smith. Firstly, let's take a look. Now, these were the first messages on July 5th from 6:35 p.m. Friend A, let's go, shares a screenshot of a $250 bet placed on Sportsbet for Brendan Smith anytime try scorer. Odds $8.50 with potential return of $2,125. Smith then says, $8.50, that's effing crazy. Friend A says, can I get a confirmation you are run on? Smith then says, I'm run on 100%. Friend A says, shares a screenshot, of a $200 bet placed on Sportsbet for Brandon Smith, first try scorer, odds $91 and potential return of $18,200. Smith then replies, ha, 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 ha. About an hour later, on the same day at 6:37 p.m, Smith texts a different friend. Friend B, bro, I'm paying $91 for first try scorer. Friend B says, back it? ? Smith, I'm starting. Friend B, I'll back it. Smith, so it's not a bad bet, brah. Brah, ask friend A to send you his bet, $8.50 anytime and $91 sports bet. Think it's getting bobbed. Ha. Friend B, I just went on, lads, got $51.
I'm feeling old. I don't understand a lot of that. Bobbed.
Yeah, I'm not
Try reading it.
I'm not sure what bobbed is, but...
Sportsbet had better odds than Ladbrokes, that's how I read it. But that's concerning.
Why?
Right? Because
Which part of it's concerning?
that last text is interesting, almost directing people to place those bets. Now, I went and did some research today on, and I'm not comparing the two, but I thought it's the most stark case is Ryan Tandy, the late Ryan Tandy, who was done for match fixing, a far more serious case than what is being alleged here. What he has been charged for, Brandon Smith, is providing inside information. Ryan Tandy was match fixing. Now, Tandy, if you remember the bet, the market was first points scored
penalty shot.
And North Queensland penalty. 95% of it's a niche market. And all of a sudden the TAB got 95%, 95% of money was going on this particular bet, Cowboys penalty. It raised red flags. And then as it would go on to show, Tandy gave away two pretty blatant penalties in the first few minutes in front of the post. Problem was Cowboys tapped and scored a try, killed the bet, but the damage was done, but the red flags went up. I don't know, we have no information that the betting organisations have raised those same red flags in this case, and he's only been charged with inside information.
Dan, this is where I'm torn, because that's a player saying, back me, are you going to score a try? Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you're on the phone, right, text can always, right, but if you're there and you go, yeah, mate, oh, God, I'm paying
This is
that
the first
for a
one
try.
you're referring to.
So that's the first text.
Mate, I'm paying, yeah. Mate, get on me, mate, I'm paying $91. I'm coming back.
That's the first text, right? But the second text is him instigating it. That's the problem.
Saying, get on me, I'm going to score a try. So you think
Okay, what's the difference? Okay, tell us through this. What's the difference with this one compared to the first one?
Well, the second one, the first one, there was a text before that as well where they asked if he was playing and he said, yeah, I just got found out I'm starting. Something along those lines.
Yep.
I don't have an issue with that,
Well,
right? Because that's mail that we can get in our everyday job, right, that we do. But this one, he's prompted this exchange. This is my concern. The second one, he's reached out to someone, made note of the fact that he's got significant odds and that he's starting.
But you can read all that. You can read that he's paying $91. You can read that he can be first try scorer.
But he did. But he's no.
All he's saying. So the worst thing he's saying is
he's put it on He's put it on someone's radar.
He's $91 because he's not starting officially.
I think he was in the extended squad at that stage, right? So I've got a problem with this one. The first one I don't really have much of an issue with, but to bring it to someone's attention that, hey, look at these odds, and by the way, I'm starting.
Well, here's a question. Right, so I use the Tandy example. He altered the course of the game negatively for Canterbury. He was playing for Canterbury. Brandon Smith.
That's a positive.
So I tend to agree, but I'm not sure the law or the NRL will see it the same way. I don't know, but I'm with you. there was he had a dart from dummy half. He had a go at the line, but he does
Here it
that
is.
all the time.
Here it is. This is the moment that's been identified.
But how
in the
many
papers.
times have we seen Brandon Smith do this in games?
Yeah, there's no red flags in his performance at all. There's
that's-
no
and that's the difference.
There's no red flags in that run whatsoever, right? That's not screaming alarm bells. I don't think he altered his performance
Quick
based
play of the ball.
on that information, right? That was the right time to run, right? So I don't have an issue with it, but it becomes murky, and this is why players can't bet on games, because it can blur the lines of what can happen and what can affect the sanctity of the sport.
All right, before we move on, Brandon Smith's lawyer has told the Daily Telegraph there is no evidence that his client altered his game or attempted to impact that of his teammates. Neither of the alleged bets placed on Smith proved successful. Brandon Smith fronts court tomorrow on alleged drug and gambling charges. It's understood he'll plead not guilty.